Alrighty. Streaming again today. Should be fun. I don't know exactly what I'm playing yet, but I figured we'd hang out, talk life, and if I get a sub, I do 10 reps of whatever you want. So hopefully some working out as well, because I'm getting flabby. Good old bubble water. Okay, so if my my audio settings aren't great, I have very few ways of telling. I will leave it up to you to let me know, as usual. All right, let's give this a shot, shall we? Okay. I wonder if this chat box on the side here actually works. Let's give it a little testaroo. Say howdy and see what comes up. Yes, it does. Fantastic. Look at that. What do you know? Oh, that was loud, wasn't it? Let's see here. Still learning stuff, so I appreciate any grace if someone decides to actually pop on. Yeah, know what I mean? Jelly bean? Alright, cool beans, let's do it. Oh, wrong button. That's what we want. Alright. So, again, I don't actually know what I'm playing today. Let's see here. I could start with some dot hack. Great stuff. I haven't played a dot hack game in quite some time. I was playing some Halo last evening and I got real stressed out with it. I'm gonna be honest. Same thing with Code Vein. I got to the point in this game where it's Dark Souls-like, and it requires a lot of stress to just be drawn from you because you're constantly timing attacks, and I mean, you feel good when you start beating things, but goodness me, is it draining. It's not a chill game at all. So I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. Now I do have some music going on in the background, and I'm wondering if that's enough to get me like cancelled. I hope not. And I don't know if there's a way to find out. So, oodle lolly, have a good day. You know what I mean? Alright. Sorry, I got sucked in looking at the YouTube recommended list. You ever do that? You ever open YouTube knowing you were gonna go for something, or just pop on for a quick second, and then all of a sudden your brain is like, look at all the videos, look at all the thumbnails, we should click on them all, or that one looks enjoyable, and you're like, wait, that's not even what I came here for. I feel like that's what happens on social media all the time these days. It's kind of ridiculous. Whatever though, you know, we make do. Okay, so what are we playing here? What are we doing? We got Steam. Let's pop over to Steam. Let's see what we got. I don't want to do something that's super in your face, stressed out. I might pop onto Minecraft for a bit. Yeah, let's do that. Let's pop over to Minecraft. It has been a bit of time, hasn't it? Besides, been working on our server. Oh, let's minimize all that. So my wife and I have a server. We call it BuddyCraft because we play with our buddies every once in a while, and it's it started out survival, so we can pop over into survival, but we give everybody admin powers so that they can build creative if they want, and that's cool too. Satisfying. All right. Let's see here. So right now, I'm working on a dwarf kingdom. That's what's going on here. I'll wait for everything to render, load in, all that jazz. Ooh boy, that's where I am. Okay, yeah, it's been a little while. Okay, so let's show you the beginning, shall we? Right now I'm in creative. Yeah, I like to hold a shield. I don't always know the answer to why on that. Let's show you where we started. Well, technically, okay, if we're gonna do that, technically we started right about here-ish, inside this mountain. We've since carved it out, added walls, things like that. It's been a pretty fun project. So we spawned on top of this mountain here. And if we look around down here, this is kind of where I said I know exactly what I want to make in this mountain. I want to make a dwarven kingdom. So I started on the interior and then built these stairs after working on the interior bit. But goodness me, I love these stairs. They turned out really nice. They feel really fantasy-esque. Not every bit of them is perfect, but that's okay. Should all be symmetrical still. Let's actually take a walk up and show you what it looks like. See, you've got this steep incline that keeps giving you, oh hey, that's a ledge. I wonder where that goes, and wow, that's a view. The person over here, oh, whoopsie daisy. She has been working on horse breeding, stables, things like that. She built a hobbit hole, so she said she'll do some Hobbit Kingdom work. So I'm excited for that. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if my render distance is high enough to see. I think over in this direction, one of our guys built a tower. No, it's on the other side of the mountain. Never mind. So you go all the way up these stairs. As you go up these stairs, it's kind of neat. You see this tree here, and right here, this house, this was the house that I chose to start in. I saw it on this cliff here, and I said, that's got to be mine. But when I built these stairs, hoping to make it go to that cliff, it ended up here. So I flattened out this area. We put in a nice face that's kind of framed here. Dwarven Guardian face. We've got a guardhouse that was built in. And then up here on top of the guardhouse is one of my favorite entrance views, because you see this massive long hall for an entrance, and you've got the hammer up there, and it's got a great feel for being a dwarven entrance. Now, I did have a thought occur to me a couple of nights ago. Now, okay, so get that out of here, Enderman. Ooh, that's not great. Let's use, yeah, let's replace it there. So I had this thought a couple nights ago. Iron, go on, why are you spawning out here, buddy? That's obnoxious. I'm tempted to break all this down one more, just so that it then pops up. Maybe that's what we do. Let's do that real quick. Yeah, let's just do that real quick here, because these guys keep getting stuck, and I'm tired of it. All right. Okay, so we'll just lay this all here. Fill in these dirts real quick. Let's get the normal to break this up. And then we grab the stairs. If I can find them. There we go. Blend this in once again. There we go. Actually, these, I'm trying to match up stairs to be the right block. So the normal stone should go to normal stone one more level, but I am trying to mix them up a tad. See, now this guy finally is able to find his way in, and that's really nice. So maybe I get rid of that, and we pop in. There we go. Pop in something like that to be real quick. I'm probably gonna break this villager thing right here pretty soon. See, now this guy can pathfind his way to go help the save villagers and be our iron farm. There we go. Look at that. Just like he's supposed to. Okay, where was I? Okay, so yeah, this was where we started, right? And so we came down the mountain. I worked on this pathway to come out to here. Made a bubble vader there. I know it's not the greatest looking thing right now. It still needs some work and some love, obviously. But if we pop down over here, it's like my side passage. You can also go through the guardhouse or to the guardhouse this direction. Sorry, cat is playing and it's adorable. Wow, Endermen really like to just shove things outside the door, don't they? In here, and then this is where I have a lot of my old stuff. There's a zombie? A zomboni? Well, that's just rude. Whatever. Including an enchanting table. But I've got much better rooms for all that now that are actually in the kingdom. So we're in creative. Let's pop on over to the main hall. This is what I turned into the main entrance, and I'm real pleased with how it's turned out. Although I saw a design the other day that made me think there's got to be a really cool way to blend this. So I believe it should be cauldron, and then a hopper. And let's see what that looks like. Now I keep hearing that zomboni, and it's quite obnoxious. I won't worry with him. I won't worry about it. Let's see what this looks like. So we, if I remember correctly, place that guy there, and then the hopper goes there, and then that looks like it's designed to be there, and the chain goes into, now I don't know if you can do a reverse hopper here. I don't even know if that's possible at all now I think about it. What does a reverse hopper look like? I mean, we could bookend them a bit, something like that, but I don't like that look at all. And we'd want to funnel it somehow, so maybe, nope, can't do a wall on a single wide, so fence, no, it'll do the same thing. Let's play with it. Let's take a look here. We could do an end rod. I don't know if that'll give us the look we want. Obviously not that direction. I mean, that's kind of neat. It gives an element. Sorry, I'm getting text here. Let me read some of these. Out this way. I apologize. And have to respond. Okay. Let's see here. So let's whoops. There we go. Let's see. Does that give it too much of a clean look? I mean, walking into a dwarven kingdom, yeah, it's too clean. It's too clean. We gotta have something else. Just out of curiosity, let's pop a cauldron there and see what that looks like. Yeah, no. We need something maybe like an anvil. That could work. It might also not, though. Let's pop. No. I mean, that looks like it's being held in tension, but what's the point then, you know? That there's got to be a purpose to it. Let's take a look. Give it a... Oh. What a redstone torch do? Absolutely nothing unique. Well, it might be unique, but it doesn't look good. Oh goodness me, this is a little tougher than I expected. Let's try that fence post. Well, that's not bad. It adds a pop color. It adds a bit of color, and I kind of like that. Could be good. This is a very bland hallway here. Oh, shush up. Let's see. Goodness me. Let's try an anvil. Give an anvil a shot, shall we? No, that's not bad. That's really not bad. It definitely adds some definition, because if you look over here, this is just kind of bland, right? Just kind of bland. Yeah, the sun's hitting this room just right to light it up. Yeah, it's plain. It's very plain. But over here, if we go this, let's add it to a couple of others. Oh, whoops. All right, add it to a couple of others, and then we pop one of these. There we go. And there. And I think we're not going to use the crimson fence, so let's just make this the cauldron. Bam. And then bam. And that immediately gives it some change of texture, something to break it up. Now it does come out to the wall all the way, but it also seems like it... This is where I could always use another opinion. That or that. You know what I mean? I'm stuck. It looks kind of good. Not gonna lie. Looks kind of good. All right. I say we keep it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. So let's do the tops first. There we go. Now, did I do that on the other ones? Yes. Perfect. Gonna make sure they are uniform. Oh, bam. The things we do for aesthetic purposes. So if we go here and then here. Yeah. Well, yeah, gotta do this last one too, otherwise it looks wrong. There we go. Okay, now that we've done a whole row or line of them, you know, that's pretty nice. That's pretty solid. Looks decent. Yeah. I think it's a good change. Good addition. There we go. There we go. Solid. Sorry, I'm getting meditative again. There's something therapeutic about doing design work in this game that's simply, I don't know, meditative, therapeutic. What's the word there? What's what I'm looking for? Let's pop an anvil in for each one. Now, originally, and I think my rule of thumb is still, if I can get it in survival, then I'll use it in creative. And so, for example, we on the server ended up starting with iron farms, so we've got tons of iron. We've got chests and chests full of iron. They've just been running and running and running, and so I'm never concerned about using an anvil in a build because of the amount of iron I could get. If I were playing in pure survival, then obviously I'd have to take the time to do resource gathering and all that. And then Prismarine, for example, we've got a farm going for getting underwater temple stuff. So I try and use it sparingly, but we have it. Nether stuff. We've got plenty of nether stuff. So, okay. So that's what the main hull is when you first walk in. I think it's got a lot of decent definition, a lot of light. It looks pretty solid. And it gives a pretty decent feel, you know? Just walking in there. So this room opens up to a nice, huge chamber. Love the way that this opens up. It feels very dwarven. You've got the walkways going all the way around. Getting text. That's, yep. It was my wife telling me that Doge is below 40 cents, which it's a little rough, but I want to hodl. I want to hodl on the Doge. Okay, so when we first walk in, obviously, again, this is what we see. Large, cavernous area, and I had to hollow a lot of this out. Now, some of it, I built up these walls to be all the way up, but I can't state how much work had to be done just to get it to this point here. I'm loving this. When we pop in, oh, Wow, that's embarrassing. When we pop in, we see the armor room, the treasury. Well, this isn't the treasury. Hang on now. Hang on. This is not the treasury. This is the guard tower, armory, all that jazz. Bunk beds all around. They can grab swords on their way out. You know what I didn't put is bows. Ah. Okay. So I may want to put some bows in at some point. It's probably a good idea. Just a little. And then we have our forge, which is obviously like huge, right? For a dwarven area, that's what we're doing. A dwarven fantasy style build here for a forge. Oh, I heard a spider. Hang on, options, music and sounds. I think that's a little. Let's turn that off. There we go. Back to game. Okay. So we come down. There's one way. Oh, that's why. Spider Boy got stuck in the minecart. It's kind of funny, really. Eh. You think he might go up? He might go through the tunnel. I built this for multifunction. So what I really wanted to see from this mine shaft was more aesthetic than anything else. The ability to have this lift feel functional. I wanted it to feel like you could pop this minecart right on over from the forge to this shaft or platform or whatever, and it would be something that just kind of took you right down, and then you pick your minecart up and you go. But obviously that's not really possible without sticky pistons and redstone. It just doesn't look good at the end of the day. So what I ended up doing was popping in a secondary track, because miners got to get down here and up somehow, all the way up around this to be over here. And I think it turned out pretty well. It's kind of hidden, it's off to the side, it looks natural. And then again, sorry, I got sidetracked with the mine area. It's nice, but it's not amazing. And then we have our forge. Love the forge. I spend a decent amount of time in here filling it out, making it look proper. When we take a look at what's going on here, it looks like this could be a good workbench with netherite and diamond armor that's currently being worked on and being filled out. And this is a great area to just pop right over and throw a sword or something right in the lava, right in the flame. We've got the guys that work over here by the anvils in the forge center and the blast furnaces. They can pop a cart right on through back to this guy who gathers the resources that he's hammering and then sends it right back to him, you know? So as he's assembling stuff, they can shift it back and forth, and I think that it adds a lot of character and story to the build, to the area. I had to add a little water channel. There was this natural water feature already out here, and so I said, you know what, water and lava are required for forging, and this looks like it's constantly heated to temp water using magma blocks there. Again, the goal is to make it feel natural. So over here are a couple of areas I still need to build and work on. We've got catacombs, the prison, the vault, and potentially an entrance to the Underdark. My wife is currently working on an Underdark area, which, if you're not familiar with, is more of a D&D thing. It's the Drow Dark Elves, underground elves kingdom. She's got a bigger project than I do with the dwarves here that she's been working on with that one for a little while. And then, okay, so this is where I was thinking the Underdark entrance might be, because if we pop this direction and then build out, I think that way, or down and that way is where she's at. And then in here, the prison, potentially. And man, I am just blown up. A lot of text going on. Group text, things like that. Okay. Okay. And then down here, the catacombs, which should lead into the vault. That's the goal. And then right here is a sneaky entrance, technically, that you can, I think, swim through into the kingdom, but you'd have to break the bars, and adds a little depth, I think, to the build one. So through here, if we come to the main area, you've got a nice little look down into the mines, into the furnace, forge area. And up here, I was originally going to make the commerce district, but I think it's not big enough. It really isn't. I'd have to really make it bigger. And so I said, well, there's a natural forest out here that I want the dwarves to get their wood from. And then my brother decided to build a wizard tower right outside that door. So storyline wise, we thought maybe the dwarves collect wood, resources, mine, and work with the wizard to, and I don't know if he's a water wizard, if he's a lightning wizard or an air wizard or something, but this tower gives me that feel. And so there's going to be 4 other kind of wizards in the area that focus on different types of or aspects of nature. And one of the, like, the darker flame tower, I have Sauron kind of feeling one has already been built off into the desert area, which I'm planning on building orcs nearby to that one. Potentially. We have a mesa as well, and a mesa biome would be fantastic for orc encampments and red sand. So I think I can do a lot with a mesa biome for orcs. Anyway, on this storyline here, we thought, okay, so these dwarves really do just pop right over to the wizard and give him supplies, and he gives them enchantments and protection. No, I don't care. Epic Games, I don't care at all. Okay. And then, of course, with the nether situation, I wanted a large nether portal. And you'll notice these different colored flags around. These symbolize different princes or dwarven families, houses. And I haven't bothered to put crests on them, just using colors for right now to signify what they're in charge of. And I can show you that room later. This portal goes straight through. Oh, back to the other side here. There we go. Straight through to a waterfall that comes right down, and it's quite pretty. And this becomes a room and a little house and whatnot. So we'll stick on the outside here. Actually, I'm not going to go back through because that's an immediate process, and I don't really want to do that. Okay. So back to the portal, and then we go up. If we go up, we can see what I'm going to call the Commerce District. right outside here. So this obviously needs more fleshing out and things, but this commerce district is going to be right next to the harbor. I'll show you the harbor in a second. It's got apartments that look out over this area, and we haven't really built up a way to get all the way up, but we're going to put in more shops and things as you climb the tower here. That was probably a fast movement for you, sorry. So if we do like we're planning, we'll pop up right here to another commerce area, and this platform will be the main one. Right here will be the guy who oversees the whole commerce area, where he sits, where he manages everything, has meetings with the person across from him, that kind of stuff. And you can get to the commerce area also through the back door of the throne room. Now we will follow that trail later. Let's go down to the harbor. We go through here. We can go to the harbor district. And this is a functioning, well, when it's up, this is a functioning platform that can take you all the way down. For right now, that's a good aerial view of what we've got for the harbor district. And I will fall right down the elevator shaft here. Oh, bam. We've got a retaining wall to hold water that rotates the gears on the sides, storyline wise. And right here is an elven ship docked at the port, because the dwarves aren't going to only do, you know, trades with their own race, but with others. How did this guy get down here? I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so this elven ship, I really love the feel of it. It's got a good natural vibe. If you know the characters, it's kind of funny. The characters actually symbolize wealth and commerce, but how they sound, if you know the pronunciations, it's kind of funny. So it's a fun little fact there. Here, oh, I was like, what is all that? That's my ender chest, obviously. Sometimes I'm a numbnut. Okay, so down in the elven ship, we've got different bed systems. We've got a small kitchen area, of course. And then we've got, I always like to add a brig and a toilet. So it's always kind of comical. If we go up here, we can see the captain's spot, where he sits, where they're headed navigationally. We can go up to the crow's nest here. And I like how this crow's nest, even though this is a little high, perches the whole way around, so you can actually see what this is designed to look like here. Now, this looks like it rotates on a pivot. It's got wind blowing through it. It actually has something to fill out. If we go down here, we can look at the dock, the harbor. I added some things that make it look like they're moving in. This is, they're trading goods. The dwarves have this magical inlaid wood from the nether that they're willing to brave, and in return, and ores and stuff, and they in return get, jungle wood potentially, and other different resources that the elves can give them. So we'll pop down here, and this is a beacon house, guard house, both of the above, all of the above. Didn't mean to pop a thing down there. This was an interesting floor that I decided to put in. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I'm tempted to waterlog it just because that might add a level of blue and look pretty, but I got nothing, to be fair. Harbor Master gets to look out here, see what's coming in, what's going out of the ships daily. Then up here as well, another viewpoint, and finally the fires that are always supposed to remain lit. If these fires go out, storyline wise, we've got big problems. Didn't mean to use my elytra there. That's fine. So this boat I designed to make it look like it's already leaving from port, and it's a dwarven ship. But if you jump properly, you can land right on the back here and use this little back gateway that the captain has to go into the captain's quarters. I thought it was a nice, interesting way of doing a back deck, essentially, where the captain can jump in the water, wash himself off, lady friends, escape quickly, that kind of stuff. This is a map of the harbor, top down. And if we go up here, we can see this is the main drive train, I guess. I'm getting all... This leads to the rudder. You can control the rudder using the compass here. That's what I mean. Captain's spot here. And then, of course, on a ship with sails like this, you need 3 different crow's nests at all times. You've got one guy that's really got a small area, but he can see behind and to the side and talk to the captain more directly. And then you've got this spot up here that allows you to really connect with the with everything up top, rigging, that kind of stuff. You can get to it from here if you need to. There we go. You can get to it from here if you need to. Go down, and then right off to the side here, we've got the third one. I won't bother going up that one, but I will. Yep, back to the captain's cabin. Let's go below deck, shall we? So first stop down here is food, kitchen, and then cargo hold. These are to tie yourself to when you're down here. These are cannons, so to speak. They look great from the outside. This is a janky makeshift brig, but you know, it works, I guess. So we got that, and then we can realize, since they're dwarves, we've got a shelf here to build or craft something on real quick if you need to. You got to walk through a couple of chains that are holding things around, and it looks pretty solid. And then one level lower is where the crew quarters are. Again, you can tie yourself off. You can separate your beds using these. You can, you know, you've got storage in the floor. You've got a place to play cards, drink, that kind of stuff. They're dwarves. That's what they're gonna do. And then from the top bow here, we've got the dragon head. And I know it floats, but I did my best making it look like it was attempted to be attached using a trapdoor, and I think it worked okay. As a dwarven ship, it's got a thicker side, more hull, more water displacement. Isn't going to be as fast, displays different shields and things on the side here. Little different menacing touches. It's almost piratey, almost not. It's pretty close. Anyway, so from the dock here, from the harbor master's house, after you get through that ship, if you walk underneath, I love this. I love this little part here. This feels like a secretive little area, alcove. You fall in, this is where you fish from. There's a buoy down there with a lobster or crab trap. There's, you know, it feels like a place that, yeah, we want to get to. That's what's been hidden, some element of fantasy in there to me. And then through here, it's beach houses. We've got, well, that's just rude. We've got houses and huts that were built on the beach at different levels for different reasons. Right here. And then you can pop over down again. This house has a little dock that I can use to get around the bay in, or maybe it's got part of, it owns that boat or something. Whoever lives here, I imagine if they own that boat, they'd have a bigger shack than this, but maybe this is just storage for them or something. And then we go through, and I built a kind of, I was originally thinking a mausoleum little area over here. When I put this in, it kind of looked like it, but it's just a storage shed. And for this, whatever this is a major house or a big area. Now inside actually practically is a creeper farm. That's what's down here, is a creeper farm. And if we wait here long enough, usually we can see some creepers start falling, or sliding, I should say, to their death. But whatever. And then the back also has the same thing. Yeah, those cats are doing their job, scaring the creepers off. And in here, again, is that mausoleum feel. We've got a sugarcane farm going, and looks like it's working. And creeper farm is really working. My goodness. Sugarcane farm takes a while, though. Okay. So that's mostly the bay. I was going to say the Bay Area, but from California, if you say the Bay Area, everybody thinks you're talking about San Francisco. I haven't named the bay. I mean, we could name it what those symbols actually sound like, which, if you're tracking with me from earlier, it's again kind of funny. I'll let you do your research on that. Down up, this is our skeleton spawner, skeleton farm. Not gonna really pop down there. And I've seen this statue, and I've built this statue 3 different times, 3 different worlds, 3 different servers, if you will, and every time it takes forever. But this time I finally had one good spot to put this guy in, one solid area, and he really does just look right out over the whole bay. See who's coming is kind of intimidating. I mean, think about it. Let's pop down here. I would like to put a guard of some sort on each of these islands, maybe a bridge connecting the two, flesh this area out more by doing that, and then add pathways to it. But if you're a ship coming in, and this is what you see the giant wizard tower there, you see the lights, the carvings, the gold inlay harbor wall, the giant statue. It's menacing. This is a place of power. It's all symbolic, and that's what dwarves are about. At the end of the day, they're all about power. Who's got the most? Who can really kick the other guy's butt, so to speak. And then this goes back into that little house that I showed you earlier. So that's the Commerce District, the harbor. let's pop over to the housing district. Housing district starts down here technically. Although I imagine you could put shops in down here. You could turn this into a little strip mall area, little different rooms and that kind of stuff. That's not glassed in. I don't know why, but it should be. And right now I'm using black glass for all of this. Let's glass that in, shall we? Oh, bam. Perfect. So this could be one section, this could be one major area, this could be two. You could cut this off and turn this into two homes. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, so I left it as it was. But this is technically part of the housing district as it is. I'm thinking maybe it's apartments, maybe it's something of that sort. And we can go up multiple directions. Let's go up this way first. This way leads you to the middle level, which is where I've chosen to make my home. And so I've decorated it out a little more. And we've got storage chests that are labeled here for when I'm playing survival. We've got everything you kind of need from when I killed the dragon and I went to the end. I grabbed the first set I saw and I said, I'm turning that into a dragon rug. So that's what I did. It looks pretty good, I think, for what it is. I'm really a fan of this fireplace. It's got this edgy feel. I'm liking the blue, black, and green theme. It looks good right here, you know, actual usable anvils. And then the bedroom, which kind of is a long, dark hallway here. Blackout curtains, that kind of feel. But with the bed as a light green, it brightens up the space and it doesn't make it super intimidating. But it's still a little off, you know. The lights are kind of recessed and it's a little weird. But I don't know, something about it is just pleasing to me. I like it. And this is a mine that goes all the way down to an actual usable mine, strip mine, right in the apartment there. So this is another home, right? And all these side ones are going to have views as much as possible. My wife decided to make this one hers when she saw the housing district. Oh my goodness, that's just rude, isn't it? Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, bam, there we go. So she's got a storage closet. Makes sense to me. We've got a balcony. I almost said balcon. I'm starting to learn Spanish, so some things are just popping in my brain in Spanish, I guess. But a balcony over this. Maybe this is where the commerce district master lives. You know, it works. It fits. It's a decent theme. And then we've got a wall of glass. It feels almost a little too open and spacious in my opinion. For dwarves, I wasn't paying attention. Up here on this ladder, she's got a hidden enchantment room, I suppose. Look at that. Music box, shelves, an actual range hood over the cooking area. Looks pretty decent. And then we've got a larger sized room apartment on the other side as well that you can sculpt, turn into whatever you want. This is a way to get to the throne room. We'll come back later and probably walk through that. And this was the first apartment I made because I don't know, I saw the spot and I thought it was interesting. It was a try level, so I went, oh, that's neat. And whoever lives here is master of the sheep, so or sheep farmer. And so when you walk out of here, you've got a view of the whole shopping district, or not shopping district, but Dwarven City on the inside, and it's a great view. And then from here, Once again, sheep, your own separate little hut, house, be out with your crop, flock, whatever you want to call them. Well, that guy just spawned in the worst places for him, didn't he? And you can even pop over from this to over here, which is a different district in itself. So we'll walk back through. We didn't finish the housing district's apartments, so we'll do that. Let's close that guy and walk back down. We've got a bonfire pit for people outside. This is the main apartments, I would call them. So one guy manages and owns all of these. And in here you've got a communal fire, almost Hogwartsy, where you've got a different, house, common room. Up here is an interesting area that you can connect straight into that tri-level that I saw, or that I made, I guess. Right here is an interesting shaped house. I love the shape. Wouldn't know exactly what to do with it, how to build it out, how to decorate it. So it's kind of been left undecorated. And then same thing with this one. It's got a really neat window system. I love this one. They've got the piggies down there. And it's a cool view. It's really a neat view. Whoever lives here is the pig farmer. And then technically this house, if I remember correctly, you can bust through this wall or this wall and go straight into the one I'm living in. It's not too difficult. So I chose to keep it separate instead of incorporate it into currently where I'm living in the world. Through here. Oh, yeah, that's probably that zombie. Through here we can walk right over here if we really wanted to, but I don't have an official walkway there yet. This is the library. So I don't know exactly what to do with this courtyard, but it's a nice sized courtyard. You've got a good view of multiple districts. It's quite pretty. And then we go through and we can use the library here. I like the feel of this library. Obviously the person who sits here rents, checks out books, that kind of thing. We've got the enchantment room in here. In the enchantment room, always keep a little bit of lapis. So solid stuff, and all of these walkways are usable. You can actually pop up here and use them, and it'd be a kind of fun place to do a little bit of a hide and seek or something to that effect. And then up here as well, and if you want to, you can pop right over to that one and then this one and call it good. But we are not going to. Down here, if we go from the library down, we've got a hydroponics bay. Because they're dwarves and they live underground, they're going to want hydroponics. They can grow a type of tree, at least. A single type of tree, bamboo, flowers, that kind of stuff. Useful farms for food, for carrots, for feeding the animals. Out here, I haven't really done anything with, but apparently there's golems, and I had no flippin' clue. Ooh, okay, well, that's good to know. I should probably work on what to do with these guys at some point. Yeah. Out here, I originally wanted just a little well for the hydroponics bay for the person who manages it, that kind of stuff. It's also a secret way into the kingdom. And then as well, we've got this view here, and this hydroponics bay actually has a water channel that flows right out, and I think that's kind of neat. It's almost like a sewer system, really. You walk out here, and this is where you can walk back to the sheep and the farming district and all that jazz. or farming, I mean housing district. Walk back across this bridge here. And we've got a solid feel for most of the underground or lower part of the kingdom. This is where all the daily life happens and daily stuff happens. Now we can go up this direction, or we can go up to the throne room, the back direction that the commoners can use. Well, technically everybody can use them. This is mostly my mindset, how royal guards usually use this area. This also is another way to get down. It leads to the main door out to the wizard's tower. We hop over here, that out of here. Got a little water feature. We've got a solid view of the kingdom at this point, and we can then go up. Look at that. And up here, I started sectioning off walls. That's why you see these walls. Originally, these were all open. Every once in a while, a mob here just spawns. I don't know why. I put in so much lighting. I don't understand. But you do with what you got, I guess. Okay, looks like my background music video has paused. Let's put in, I don't know if this is copyrighted stuff. I hope not. It shouldn't be. Otherwise, then why would they be playing it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jellybean? All right, let's get through here. So this is the main entrance, and I'm talking like once we fill in these walls, it's gonna look solid. I put in that dragon skull. Lore-wise, the dragon lived in the mountain, very similar to Smaug. I've got a lot of inspiration coming from the Hobbit films and book, and so the lore-wise, in my mind, they killed the dragon, took it over, hollowed it out, made it their own, and put in, you know, for the throne room, this multicolored glass design that has every symbolic color of the different families. So even though this glass floor looks kind of odd, is in a weird place, things aren't really centered, the dwarves didn't really care about symmetry when they built this. They wanted this to symbolize the unity of all the houses, all the families over time. We're talking several generations ago, so it's very well maintained, very well upkept, and allows you to see the production of the kingdom below you, so that even though you're above, you recognize those below you. You still have to maintain a level of care and concern for those that serve either under you or with you. Okay, so we've got the throne here. I've got the soul flame, soul heart. This is kind of made me think of the Arkenstone a little bit, I won't lie. I liked the idea of adding something bright and obvious above the king's head. He's got the solid diamond going, huge diamond. Originally I had a kitty cat that was directly on the side of the throne here, but looks like mobs have since pushed the kitty cat away. Whatever. This water feature I had to kind of put in, but it adds a great filter for what's inside and what's outside. This throne room, normally you think of dwarven throne rooms as kind of always solidified by the mountain around them, but in this case I thought this allowed for openness, this allowed for airflow, ventilation, which symbolizes something for dwarves that's really expensive. When you think about it, having ventilation in and throughout the whole mountain area is important, but it's something that not a lot of dwarves are going to have a ton of access to consistently. And so the king, it only seemed right for the king in the throne room to have that level of ventilation and cross breeze and be very high top of the mountain so that you can look down around you. So that's what I was thinking there with the lore. Then if you walk under the dragon's skull here, which we can get a better view of later, this almost looks like one giant sword. So it's again very power symbolic, very dwarven. We've got the golden blocks behind. We've got emerald blocks. We've got nether gold, gilded blocks. We've got, like, every once in a while, if you look closely, you'll see something like a diamond ore block or a gold ore block there. See, and I wanted to give that background of this is carved, but this is not exactly natural. Maybe the gold ore was, but then they added things around it and solidified it and made it their own. Let's walk through here. So we walk through here. We've got a really interesting tower. First off, that kind of draws you to it. Sorry for that flash there. That kind of draws you to it, and it's got a beacon at the very middle, and to me it's got a mystical feeling. I don't exactly know if it's got a use or what the lore is behind it, but it's got a mystical feeling to me, and I love that. And then down here, this is where you get to the commoner housing district. So it's a direct line to the throne room in a way. You see the back of the guardian statue here over the commerce district and harbor. You've got a I'm trying to remember the term for it. A endless pool or bath, whatever you want to call that. If we go back up here, so this is all stuff I've still yet to fill out and work on. Oh, hi, creeper. I don't exactly know what to do with all this. There were some areas that I really kept open that I really liked the feel of, so you can already start seeing some of the skull here. And I really enjoyed the idea of having multiple levels to work with, to work off of. It made sense to me that the dwarves would utilize the throne room as some sort of kind of power grab and maybe even arena for watching maybe parties come before the king, or the king to sentence and make judgments upon others. And when big events happened, this was maybe the space, for example, that was really big. So let's hop up one more level here. And this is where you see the eye. I love the eye. This, you don't get these details on the skull from below, but this eye right here has a red pane glass that, if with the shaders, looks kind of reflective. And at first you're like, what? Wait a second. You don't notice it really, but it looks almost like a pupil in the middle, like the eye is still alive or something. And I figured maybe a dragon's eye doesn't always desiccate. There's the word I'm looking for. And this could lead to outside as well. This could, there's a lot of options here. In fact, this one, let's walk, no, wait. Let's walk the correct path that we have built for it first. So we'll pop out of the throne room. We've got this hall on the other side that I really like the feeling of as well. It does basically the same function. It provides, you know, a way for people who want to watch what's going on in the throne room. Over there is a section that hasn't really been built out, but it connects to another main mountain. Down here, the king can look down once again. Oh, and that just reminded me, there's an area there that I hadn't shown you yet. This area here is really neat. It's kind of unique for what you might put in a dwarven build, but it's a dining hall, classic dining hall, mead hall, but again, it's got different kind of color palette than what you might expect for a Nordic feeling themed hall or something of the sort. So this right here, this is for the Thanes only, essentially. This is where all the heads of the houses and the king get together and they make pitches, they talk ideas. The king himself is only a Thane among Thanes, right? So he only sits one level higher, but he's still like got the respect of everybody and it still has to maintain that. So green from here earlier, as we'll notice in the housing district, symbolizes housing and community. Red, his job is knowledge and skill. So anything with red, like the library, for example, dealt with knowledge. And then blue was hunting and feasting. So you haven't seen that room yet, but again, it's an interesting color scheme for a dining hall, for a mead hall. So blue for hunting and feasting. And then yellow for commerce and trade. And then wood and mining resource gathering is white. So wood and stone, essentially, and precious materials. He's got probably the most important job of all of them, arguably, as a Thane, to make sure that resources are still incoming to the kingdom. That way they can outflow. There's a reason why he and commerce sit so close to each other. And then nether exploration, royal guard, and diplomacy. So nether exploration, that's all purple. Royal guard and diplomacy, that's making, embassies and establishing with other countries and people groups. And then royal guard, of course, is purple, and so these are all amphitheater seats that can watch their meetings and that kind of stuff. They like to keep things pretty open and honest in the kingdom, which is great. That's kind of what any organization essentially needs. Let's pop through. I'll fly for this. Yeah, we'll pop down here. Okay, so coming back through here, let's go from my house, act like we're going to dinner, essentially. And then this was a natural pathway that was already inside the mountain because of how a village, partially spawned, and I really liked it. Really liked the pathway. I didn't want to really let it go, so I didn't. I think it kind of breaks this up. Looks neat, kind of unique again. And so, okay, blue. This blue going on here for a dining hall. Remember, normally Vikings and dwarves go hand in hand, but I thought this cyan added an interesting pop using design, using color techniques, lighting, lava. The honey blocks kind of symbolically look like melted gold to me, so I use them for lighting, and I think that they look great. And when we look at this area, it's got a brighter feel, but it's very well manicured. And when you think of mead hall, you think getting drunk and fighting and bashing with each other, but really, originally, when I think of mead hall, I think bardic inspiration and people telling stories and people telling major exploits. And what this does is this gives a feeling that there's a head of house equal with everybody else, who likes to sit down and share their stories, you know, and even up here in the balconies, you could yell from up there and share a story of a recent conquest, and it still gives that feel of openness and connectedness, with the ability to still have, you know, remote side conversations back here or something. And then of course we've got the kitchen, which is kind of cramped and crowded, but constantly busy. They've got drying meats, they've got small basins for washing in, drink mixers, that kind of stuff. It's, to me, this is still got that feeling of being connected meat hall. Okay, let's see. Have I shown you everywhere? No, not technically. Okay. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that was probably really annoying. This was an interesting design I found. Really liked, so built it out of the warped wood logs there. Oh my goodness. Let's just pop down and walk normally then if we can't fly properly. Okay, this hall. I started to carve out a design here. I wasn't sure if I liked it. If we walk through, got opening that allows you to see through a whole nother section of the kingdom that has not been developed, or an area that hasn't been developed. And that has so much potential. This valley here, a lot of potential. Don't exactly know what to do with it, but it's there. I like it. Let's pop up top. If we follow this staircase, this takes us to a tree farm and an amphitheater. So on the top of the mountain here, they grow their trees. They grow some crops, stuff that doesn't really fit in the hydroponics bay. They've got a water feature, and there is an amphitheater with a really, really cool backdrop of, well, frankly, I mean, nothing. It's just a unique landscape for a backdrop, and I think there's a really cool potential for fights out here, for a lot of other stuff, really. Dramas, skits, whatever. They're starting to branch out into culture. Lore-wise, the dwarves are just now getting into, we've developed a wealthy empire, now let's develop more culture as a people group. They're more accepting of people who aren't going to go out. This area is something I don't know what to do with again. However, I love the look of it. It's basically curtained in water. There's so much neat, especially with the shaders. It's so pretty down here. So pretty. Again, don't know what to do with it, but it's pretty. How long has that cave been there? Let's go check it out. Go check out this cave. How deep does this thing go? Okay, that looks like just a solid little section. Huh. This is like the perfect kind of Dead Sea Scrolls feeling cave here. That's neat. And there's somebody's mining hobbit hole in here, I guess. Cool beans. Let's pop those in. Well, no, we've got the ability to just pop by him. There we go. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of room back here. A lot of potential. This kingdom can keep growing and growing and morph and change into something even more fantasy oriented. This is an interesting shape. It kind of looks like a llama or an alpaca. I'm trying to remember the exact thing that my father-in-law said when he saw it. He's been building a lot of this stuff on the server as well, and he has built things like the amphitheater and this bathhouse over here. You saw a glimpse of the tower he built, the Fire Wizard Tower as well, so we can go check that out. This is a bathhouse essentially that he built with a stream that flows all the way over and down. It's up here. We've got another iron farm. That one drops and connects to this house down here that I built. It's just where we host our villagers for survival stuff. This tower, though, this is probably the most recent major addition to the server, and it is pretty neat. It's pretty neat. It's got some real, like, this could be used as a staff in itself vibes, which I think is perfect because a wizard would want his tower probably to emulate the idea of a staff, which is to channel spells even better. I think for a more dark fire wizard tower, this has a lot of great emotion and feeling to it. All right, up here is where he's going to cast his spells. He can even see the top of the other wizard's tower. That might be air or water, and so if, you know, they're contrasting elements, they may get into duels from the top of their tower from time to time, and it may create lightning storms and dangerous you know, moments for people in the surrounding areas. These are really neat little pop out sides that he built here. I love the feeling of this. I love the look of this. It's solid, you know. Like maybe that room is for growing the enchanting things, or I mean potion stuff, nether wart, that kind of stuff. Maybe these are for holding prisoners, very Saruman style. And there is a way to get to and from the bottom and the top without flying. But this is, oh, you know what? This is probably where he would hold prisoners, if anything. This area in here. That's neat. A mid stopgap. Looks like this is where you walk in. I haven't really explored this much myself. That would probably take you all the way up. Looks like he didn't finish these ones. But if we hop through this one, we can... Yeah, okay. I don't know if this is exactly where you'd keep prisoners, but this might be where you do some intimidation tactics, potentially. You know what I mean? Oh, looks like this one takes you down. Okay. Does it take you? Oh yeah, okay. Takes you down. That's fine. Cool. So that's probably the most recent addition there. Let's go take a look at this. This is a village that was natural, and it was quite a large village. And then in here is an area that he built for pigs and somebody who might be a pig farmer. Makes sense? Sounds like he is home, actually, so that's good to know. I am live streaming at the moment. Just showing off the Minecraft world.
Oh.
I finished going through the Dwarven Kingdom, and I'm going to take a look at the Hobbit house. Wow, that's a pretty beat up golem. Why are there golems spawning down here, though? I love the way that she built this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, most of the time I can't picture a way to make the orange wood work, but she found a way to make it feel even homey and natural. So yeah, that's the live stream of our server so far. If there's anybody interested in updates, if they ever stumble across this video and end up watching the whole thing, you get huge bonus points. Good job. If there's anything new in the future, I will keep this updated.